Comrades, good day. First of all, comrades, let me thank you personally and on behalf of the leadership of the People's Progressive Party for the time, for the courage, for the strength, for the commitment that you have shown again this morning in coming out in your numbers to stand up for democracy, to stand up for the rule of law, to stand up in protection of our Constitution, and to stand up against injustice. And let me say this to you, our energy, our time will not be lost, because we will not stop until this government and GECOM respect the ruling of the CCJ and bring elections to this country. I don't know, this government said that they will win convincingly. I know if you will win, why is it you're afraid to call the elections? If you really believe that you have a chance of winning anything, call the elections now. And I want to remind Mr. Lowenfield that he is not above the law, that he is an ordinary citizen just like all of us of Guyana, and he must respect the Constitution of our country. And we are going to stand up. We are going to stand up against his singular attempt to derail the process of democracy. We are going to stand up against his singular attempt to take away your right, our right, the people's right to elect a government of their choice and to have a government governing the affairs of this country of their choice and their will. Mr. Lowenfield and GECOM is standing in the way. They are standing in the way of democracy. They are standing in the way of the will of the people. They are standing in the way of the rule of law. And we have to ask the question, what is the motive of Mr. Lowenfield? What is driving him? What is driving him? This is a huge country. We have lots of land. What is driving Mr. Lowenfield? Why is it that he believes he can stand up against the Constitution and against the order of the CCJ? But your General Secretary, our General Secretary, and your party leadership will not rest. With your support, with your energy, we will walk the streets. And let me put a notice, CARICOM. CARICOM has a responsibility. The CCJ is a creature of CARICOM. And CARICOM must ensure that this organ that belongs to CARICOM is not disrespected and disregarded. And CARICOM has a responsibility to say something, and much more than to say something. They have a responsibility to do something. And we are sending notice to CARICOM that the people are watching them. The people are observing, and they must ensure that they fulfill their responsibility of protecting democracy, protecting constitutional rule in the region. So, brothers and sisters, comrades, together we will stand, together we will fight, and victory will come. It will come. Thank you.
Well, let me thank all of you for being here today. I always do this not just on behalf of the People's Progressive Party, but on behalf of all of the people of Guyana. Because what you're doing here is not protesting for a PPP's victory. You're protesting here to ensure that the organs of the state, those vested with constitutional responsibilities, that they carry out their functions in a timely manner and in accordance with the law and court orders. And so, as I said the last time when I met some of you here, I see many, many new faces here today, and I want to welcome you. That we have a duty to all of Guyana, even the people who are not here, even those who may be sitting quietly in their homes and may not have the courage to come out here today. Those who may be afraid because they sympathize with us, but they have a job that they're worried about, that the government is so vindictive that if they see them here today, they may want to harm them. Many of them never supported us in the past. Many are APNU supporters who have been neglected by this government, but they too want us to succeed in what we have embarked upon here today, because they can see it clearly as their light, that constitutional rule and democracy is at stake in Guyana. And you know, when those things disappear, then after a while, freedom disappears, and then we can't raise our children here in a free society. So many of us might have to migrate. And this country has so much to offer to everyone, but an essential part of what we have to offer is the rule of law, that we must respect our constitution from which we derive all of our rights. And so what we see here is a pernicious process to undermine the constitution, all because of greed. They want to hang on to office to steal and to hang on to office for a little bit longer. They're willing to put not just constitutional rule, but law and order at stake in Guyana. And they want to create an air of normalcy, although the CCJ has made it clear in its ruling. Elections have to be held within 3 months, consistent with Article 1067 of our Constitution. That this government is a caretaker government, that the cabinet must resign. They refuse to resign openly, and they do not behave as a caretaker government. As we speak here, Nagamotu and several others have gone to Trinidad and Tobago and to speak at an investors conference. An investors conference is not consistent with a caretaker's capacity. But they're going to be surprised there, because some of our MPs have been sent across there to greet them in the hotel when they get there too. And some others. They're going to be greeted there in Trinidad and Tobago too, the government team. Everywhere that they go, we're going to make sure that they remember what the CCJ said and what Justice Saunders said. I can't throw away this Constitution. I can't throw it away. That the Constitution says elections in 3 months and you're caretaker. We must never let them get away from that label. And so they're trying, once again, they're trying to soften the impact of the CCJ's ruling. So what happened, the CCJ made it explicit that GECOM must follow the Constitution, that they're a creature of the Constitution, they were a party to the proceedings, and they must respect the court order which says elections in 3 months. That decision that was given on July 12th overtook the secret order that Mr. Patterson signed, and they gazetted quietly and hid on the 11th of June. The decision overtook it, the decision of the court. So when Lowenfield was confronted with that, and he started to embark on the house-to-house process, we wrote him. And we said it's illegal, it's in contempt of the court. And he asked the in-house lawyer, GECOM's lawyer, for an opinion. And their own lawyer said, you should not go to house registration. It's illegal in accordance with the decision of the CCJ. You have to comply with the decision of the CCJ. And what happened? We saw him still pursuing the house registration. So in the face of a CCJ ruling, in the face of his own legal counsel advising him against, Lowenfield is now acting on his own. And we must question why. And that is why we say that there is another motive. A few nights ago, you witnessed a secret meeting that took place that lasted over 4 hours involving Lowenfield. And we're wondering what took place at that meeting. So he is acting illegally, unconstitutionally, and forging ahead with house-to-house registration. So we will work to stop this because it's illegal. We'll go against Lowenfield for contempt of the court. They're spreading, I was saying, that they're spreading rumors that people from the judiciary told them they can go ahead. But I doubt it that a single judge in Guyana, a single judge would say that you can violate the CCJ's order. They're just hiding behind rumors. In the meantime, as I was coming here, I was listening to a talk show, and Benchcorp was saying to the AppNews pollster, the guy who did the poll for them from Barbados, that he said, go to elections with the existing list. And Benchcorp was saying, well, the list expired on 30th of April, and the only way you can clean this list is house-to-house registration. And the man said, that sounds strange to me, because you're in continuous registration. So they're lying once again to AppNews supporters to say that the list is expired on the 30th of April, and the only way you can have an updated list is to go to house registration. You can do so through a short period of claims and objections, which is what we've been pushing. And in the period of claims and objection, anybody who is not on the list can get on the list. So when Granger said some 50,000 incorrect entries, it's wrong. And that young people are not on the list, he's wrong again. And that people who are not on the list still have an opportunity to get on the list in the period of claims and objections. They're misleading supporters so that people would feel the only way they can get on the list is house-to-house registration. And so we have to fight against this campaign of lies because they want to polarize the country once again. And they're using every single day, they're falling back on race. They don't have anything else, and we must fight that too. Guyana is for all of its people. That's what we are in the People's Progressive Party. A party for all the people of Guyana, regardless of their religion, their gender, or their race. We have to ensure a government that is prosperous, that can take care of all of its people, all of them, wherever they live or whatever their race. And their only tool is to try to polarize our people again because they have not delivered on their promises. Our country is sliding. If the elections drag out to next year, there is no budget. From January 1, there'll be no budget in the country because they can't go back to Parliament to pass a budget. Their caretaker capacity. You will see now, if you think we're losing jobs now, you would see how more rapid the decline will be next year if we don't deal with this situation urgently. And so they don't care about that. They'll put our lives at stake. They don't care because they're hanging on for the perks. So we have to keep the struggle going. People ask me, are our scrutineers going to track the house-to-house program, the activity if they start? And I said yes, because we are a serious political party. We want to see what they're doing on the ground. But we will fight to stop it, and we will stop it because it's inconsistent with the law. But we will still track it. We need to track what's going on the ground. Because if you don't, they may tamper with certain things. And we don't want to ensure, we want to make sure that we're covering all angles so we win these elections overwhelmingly. We're not taking chances. We're a serious political party. Serious political party. And so all of the scrutineers get ready. Imagine Lowenfield has not even informed us that we need to send in a list of scrutineers, but he wants to start house to house because clearly there is a motive that they want to do wickedness on the ground. But we will track everything. So, comrades, I know you've had a long, a few hours of protests, and it's hot, and you come from far, some of you from near here. And I want to say how much we appreciate your presence. Because as I said before, we are fighting for all of Guyana, for all of its people, and for our cause. And I want to assure you, this energy and your efforts will not be wasted and will long be remembered in the future of Guyana when the PPP emerges as a victorious party in the next general election. Thank you very much, comrade. Thank you again for coming.